Alright, it looks like we're ready for our next run. Please welcome Segastar, who will be running Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be
Hmm.
here.
Hi there! Happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. Running Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. And the fun part is we're running it in the Japanese version.
Time
Uh,
save?
and not in this category, and the 100% category, it's a slight time save, but this is just the category I'm used to running, so that's why we're running it. So this came out in 2002. It's developed by Nintendo and Capcom. So
2002. Any particular reason that, or is there something in particular that brought you to this game?
yes, I grew up with this game actually. I had it as a kid. My mom got it for me, and kind of how I got involved with the speedrunning before I get started. I was running some other games, and I just thought about this game at random, and I was like, huh, I know this game has a speedrun scene. And about a year ago, I found out that it did, and I got hooked on it instantly. And since then, there's been a lot of work done on this game. So I'm excited to show it off.
Alright, well, we're all looking forward to it. I think we need just a second here. There's
No worries.
some kind of audio issue.
Okay.
We're good now. I just had to balance some things.
Cool.
Okay.
So yep, this game is, it's a point and click, it's casual, it's gonna be fun. So,
Excellent. Well, whenever you're ready, I think. We're ready to go.
Alright, so I'm gonna just basically do here real quick, never mind, wrong button. Remember it's in Japanese, it's hard to read sometimes. Alright, so pretty much ready to go. As soon as I hit the file select here, you can start the timer. So, anybody want to do a countdown, or we're just gonna go into it?
Do we have the timer here in the chat?
Fun. Alright. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So the story of this game is pretty interesting. It's actually based off an older Mickey cartoon. I was doing some research on this game.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Something we would have seen?
It's the cartoon from like the 40s, 50s. It's old.
Oh, it's a really obscure one then.
Yeah. So basically, this game is Mickey. He's sleeping, and out of just complete nowhere, this ghost just comes out of his mirror, and he's like, "I want to play." And then Mickey's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go with him."
Doesn't seem very friendly, does he?
No, not very friendly in the slightest.
I had no idea that any kind of Mickey Mouse point-and-click games even existed.
Yeah, it's probably one of the more weirder games on the GameCube. So basically, what we're gonna be doing here is just kind of a little bit of I wouldn't call it a tutorial, but I guess it's the game's way of kind of introducing us to the game. So we start off in this little hallway here, and already right off the bat, there's gonna be a little minor time save that we're gonna do here. It's gonna be kind of quick, but it saves a couple frames. So the game wants us to go through that left door, but it's actually faster to go through the right one. Slight.
Oh, we're having another audio issue here. We'll be right back with everyone.
So I'll try.
Oh, are you good?
Yeah, we're good. Just checking something.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So basically, now these doors are open. Mickey's gonna be like, "Now what?" So this next part is unskippable, but you're gonna see another Mickey pop out. So I guess a little background on kind of what this category involves. This is the any percent category. It's the world record, which I currently hold, is 30, is a 35-minute 11 give or take. I had it actually got it about 2 weeks ago, not too long after I submitted this game. So a little bit of optimization has been done on my part. Try to get my time lower.
Stop right there.
How long have you been running this particular game?
I started running it last March, about a year ago. So, at the time when I was running it, there was nobody else running it. I was pretty much the only person. But since then, there's been 2 or 3 new people that have run the game.
Oh, nice.
One of them is a good friend of mine. His name is, if you don't mind me calling him out, his name is SSBB Axe. He is the one who actually helped me route the rest of this game out. Because when I started running it, this game only had this category. But thanks to him and a couple others, this game now has 6 categories.
Ooh, that's a lot of variety for a point and click, right?
Correct. So what we're doing here is that these little star container things are going to be helpful for us for the run. They allow us to do things. So now the game's like, okay, where can we use it? There's a convenient star on that door. So basically what we're doing here is just we start what's called a trick. And it's kind of hard to tell, but basically what you want to do to get through that as fast as you can is you just want to mash right through that, little cutscene. So probably the biggest thing about this game is that where the optimization comes in from is just knowing where to click and how much you want to click. So like here, pick up this key, and I actually did something really cool here. If it was kind of hard to tell.
Oh yeah?
Usually when you pick up an item, you can tell that there's a little magnifying icon that comes up, but it didn't show it. That's because I actually picked it up the fastest that you're able to pick up that item that you can. It's pretty cool.
You have a lot of times where you have to sort of delay your input because it won't recognize it or give you something different if you press it early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing in this game that sometimes if you're not careful, if you try to either click on something that, if you're in the middle of an action or something, I'll try to explain that a little later, but it's just it's annoying when Mickey sometimes, like, if you're not careful, he'll just stop in the middle of an action and he'll just look at you, and it's a waste of time when he does that.
Because they're a full animation.
Yeah, he basically just kind of like pops around and looks at you. It costs about a half a second every time it does that. So this next part here is pretty much mostly cutscenes. I would say if there's maybe a donation or two, you could probably read one of those, or if you'd like.
We don't have a donation at the moment, but if anybody would like to donate, all you have to do is type !donate in the chat for Fastest First Summer Showcase benefiting Global Giving's COVID-19 Relief Fund. Your donation, your contribution to this fund will help stop the virus's spread and give communities on the front lines of the crisis the resources they need to act quickly and protect the most vulnerable.
So basically what this cutscene does, it actually kind of introduces us to, in a second, it'll show us kind of what the point of this game is. Now I got a little tiny bit of section where I get to do one little input and then the game gives us another cutscene. Gotta love it.
Oh boy.
So, yep.
I like the Matrix visual effects.
Oh yeah, the visuals in this game are hilarious. So now that time you saw like the magnifying glass icon came up, so part of the trick of trying to get this game optimized is trying to like get the timing down to figure out how we can pick up the items as quick as possible without having that icon show up to where it just stays gray like how it is right now. So basically all these here are these shards that you have to collect, and then there's 12 of them. But for this category, we only collect 8.
Oh. So they're not all necessary in a normal playthrough, or are you skipping things?
In normal gameplay, there's a couple different endings that you can actually get in this game. And one of them is actually the ending that you can get for collecting 8 of them, which is how the any percent category became established. It's basically the quickest. It's the the normal way that the game you can complete it that way, or you can get all 12, which is actually one of the other categories. And then there's the 100% category as well. But
Oh, there's 100. There's 100% on top of getting all 12, so there's even more.
yep. So this cool little cutscene here kind of shows you where some of them are actually. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we're going. So now we actually finally, after all that beginning stuff, we finally get to the game proper. So all we do is we're gonna go through the store here. And then we are going to, we collect these stars here, they're helpful. They refill your trick meter.
Trick meter.
So you can do tricks like that. And if you notice that I could, I put my cursor in a certain spot. Finding out, little ways to cut time is knowing where to start the tricks the fastest.
What did you do? What was the trick?
He went inside the cabinet and he bounced around and allowed the key, and you had to get the key that dropped right there. We had to collect 4 throughout the run. And that's how we collect the first shard.
I love the way his head turns.
Oh yeah, it's this is a funny looking game for 2002. I love it. So basically now what happens is that the shard's gonna basically show us when it's going back on to the mirror, so that kind of adds a little bit of fun to the game. There's 8 shards, and every time that we collect one, this happens, so basically what I try to do, at least part of the routing, is that in between these cutscenes, you try to memorize where you want to go for your next action, so
you can choose the order of them.
Not really choose the order, but you can at least you can put the cursor where you want to go next. So now we're basically just gonna go here, and now we get to go into a little hallway here. And there's a couple different ways I could go depending on the route, but for this route we go up here. Now we're in this cool dark room here, but just gonna go here to a quick time event actually, but I can really not call it that. It's just basically just hit the button as the game asks you to. Now
Just follow the prompt for that one.
Yep. This room is just basically that we turn the light on and we just want to go through this door. There's a key up there, but we're gonna get that later.
A new donation here from SSBB Hacks for $20. I just wanted to wish good luck to all the runners and thank all the organizers for putting this event together. A big round of applause for everyone involved, really. Thank you so very much for your donation.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, so, that was... You could kind of see that when he went to grab that star, Mickey decided to kind of turn around and hop. That's kind of what, that can happen sometimes.
That's that half-second time loss you were talking about.
Correct. The way that happens, it's not 100% understood. Now, to get through these longer hallways, you can actually press down on the A button, which is how you control this game. In certain hallways, you can actually make Mickey run faster by clicking a couple times, and that's how we kind of go through certain hallways. We want him to just run fast. So now, this next part I'm going to have to explain a little bit. Probably the more interesting part of this route is that in order to save time, you have these stars that you have to that we use in the game. Right now we don't have any. So in order to continue on, we need 2. The only 2 ways to have stars come back after you collect them is either you leave a room and come back, or you collect a mirror shard. So
Okay, so they refresh so you can do more tricks.
Correct. But the way that the stars come back is completely random. So
Completely random. Well, that would
yep.
make some rooms unable to complete, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. It's just you would just have to collect two, and sometimes if you get what's called the good RNG, it doesn't take very long, or it'll take a few seconds longer.
Oh, I see.
So now we're just gonna walk over here real quick, collect this flashlight. That's gonna be in here in a moment. Alright, so now that that's over, it looks like we got a gold star to go back through the door with. Now, since we're doing it for fun, I'm gonna go through here and we're gonna try our best to see if we get the good RNG, which we did. That is the fastest way to get through that room right there.
Excellent.
Otherwise, I would have had to go back and waste 2 seconds. So now it's just basically just run back through the room, pretty simple. And now that we have 2 full stars, we can go over here.
What's your variance like for a typical run? Like, how much do those half seconds really add up?
It can depend. I would say probably my average. I would say my per run is probably like maybe about 2 or 3 hops, give or take. And yep, you did another one right there.
Oh, I saw it that time.
Alright, so now we're gonna go down this hall here using a little time save that I came up with.
Ooh.
And then and the ghosty scares us, but by putting the cursor in just the right spot, you can pretty much hit it immediately. Which saves a good second or so, depending if you're quick enough. Otherwise, it's a little harder to get them. And all we do is just set up for shard number 2, and there it goes.
Wait, 2? Oh, I thought you already had 2.
Oh, we're on 3. I'm losing count.
Oh no, I thought I misunderstood.
No. Yeah, we're on 1,000 people. I'm losing count. So now from here, basically what we do is that we're done with this area of this mansion. Which is a fun fact. If anyone likes their Capcom games, this game is actually, I would say, semi-inspired by the older Resident Evil games, whereas I think especially the first one, because you were like in a mansion of sorts. And there's a couple other little nods to some Capcom games in other parts of the game that we don't see in this run, but they're there.
Getting a Luigi's Mansion vibe from this a little bit.
That too, yeah.
Well, that Luigi's Mansion came out later, didn't it?
I believe Luigi's Mansion came first. I don't remember. So
Oh.
now in this room, we're just gonna do some cool little item pickup here. Oh, kind of messed that up, but no worries. So now we're gonna grab another key.
This is a tricky one.
Now he's gonna reach his hand in there. We don't have to do anything here. All it does is just do a trick that's just useful for the 100% category, but not for this category. And then, ultimately, you want to have your cursor right over on this other side here, where we're going to pick up another item.
It's giving me a lot of Super Mario 64 Ghost House vibes.
Cool. So then, and kind of the cool thing is, like, kind of once he starts running, you don't want to press any buttons once he's running, because otherwise he'll stop and turn around. And then we just set up another trick. And this is one of my favorite cutscenes. It's so funny.
What?
Oh no. Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Mickey Mouse clock tower crossover.
So, kind of a fun little fact here was when I first started running the game, the route was actually a little bit different. And one of the first big changes that was made to the route was actually right after this cutscene. There's a star container hidden under the stairs. Which
Was
I
that a?
originally was
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go. Oh. Originally, that when the older route, for whatever reason, they didn't collect that one. I don't exactly remember why. The older route actually had 4 star containers, but it got reduced to 3.
The adjustment to the route that you'd mentioned, was that something that came of the community that started to form around this game, or is that something that you found yourself?
That was one of the first changes to the route was done before I would say the community kind of got started again. Because when I first started this game, pretty much there was runs submitted, but the route wasn't really, I would say, 100% figured out. But I took what was based off the route then, and I made some changes. But after I got the world record that around of 35:59, my friend Hacks came in and helped me start routing the rest of it out, and then we cut out a pretty good time out of this route. So
this is a lot more optimized pathing and positioning and menuing and things like that, as opposed to breaking through walls and things.
we wish that we could break through walls in this game. Now,
some wrong warp potential.
Alright, so now this next part is probably one of the more trickier tricks of this game. This cabinet here has silverware that I have to kind of try to manipulate as quick as I can, like that.
Nice.
And I'm actually shocked that I normally don't get it that fast. So that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't even know what you were going for there, and it looked smooth, so
Yeah.
that was good.
Basically, all you have to do there is that you have to have the silverware. You have to get 5 of them to basically shake at the same time, and then you can get the trick to start. Apologies for not explaining that sooner.
Oh no, you're fine.
So now while this is going, probably the next change that was actually made was later on. And before those stars, if you in the hall before, we would collect those stars, but we actually found that there was a better place to get a star refill a little bit later. So that cut out more time. So.
Do you remember what your but before all these changes, do you remember what your time was like on this game? How far has it come?
As far as when the game first, from what I could find out, the very first runs of this game in this category were over an hour. But once I started running it, the first time was like 35 or 36:20 something, I believe. And I started running the game, and I was trying to see if I could push it down further. And then I originally was able to get a like a low 36:04 or something like that, and that's kind of when I started making the change of collecting that star case under the stairs and getting those 2 gold stars before. But we're just gonna go through this little area here, and the cool part is you can click up through the wall there, and you can get to the store right here.
Oh yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, before you would have to click on like one of these paintings here, then you would stop and have to go to the door, but we found that you can just click up through the door, up through the ceiling, and it works for some reason. But to continue what you asked before, the biggest change is that I got a 35:59 on the older route, and then after that I took a break for a while. And then my good friend Hacks came along, and he completely smashed my time, and then we started routing out this game together, and we had a couple others join us. So now we're gonna be collecting this key here.
It's nice when. Oh, go on.
Through a little quick little cutscene here, but it's not really. You can continue.
Oh, I thought it was a mini game. Oh, well, it is a mini game. It's nice when a community starts to form around a really obscure game like this and develops a whole new breadth of attention for it.
Exactly. Now we just go over here. A little fun fact: those blue doors there are actually interesting part of the run. That's actually how the run ends. If you go through one of those doors, you can go back. You walk back to the original room where the mirrors is, but we're not going to go through that one. We're going to go through one later.
Hmm.
So here is actually where the 2 new stars that we added to the route were found. Oops. Yeah, just by clicking that little part of that lamp somehow, you just go into like a little alcove there, and there's 2 silver stars waiting for you.
Well, partial stars.
Correct. And each silver star fills up about half your gauge, so with the one that we were picked up earlier, plus those 2 silver stars, it gives us enough stars to complete the rest of the run. That cut out a pretty good chunk of time. About 30 seconds, actually.
That is a pretty good chunk. Oh, now he's going to sleep.
Yeah.
I guess he thinks he's done.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite cutscenes of the game, honestly. It's but even then, in this little cutscene, there's still stuff that we have to interact with. So basically, what we want to try to do here is kind of get the cursor on him about as close as possible.
Oh no.
And then, yep, B's just gonna bother Mickey there, and we have to. Whenever the game cursor goes pink, that's because you're holding it on Mickey. You can actually interact with him and do stuff with that. But for this cutscene, all you have to do is just hold the cursor there, and you don't have to do much. Now, probably one of my little favorite cutscenes in the game. This is hilarious. Everybody who's watched this game just laughs at this cutscene.
He just wants to be friends.
Like, he just jumps the couch and he's like, alright.
The bee is just so impressed by that demonstration of acrobatics that he gives up.
Pretty much. Oops. There we go. And that's another shard.
What is that? Is that 4 or 5?
That is, I believe we're up to
6?
6. Yeah, we're up to 6.
Numbers are hard.
Yes, they are. Numbers are very hard.
Oh yeah, there's one in the bottom left. I didn't see it light up before.
Yep. Yeah, basically this game kind of just, it shows you each shard as you collect it. So, and one thing we just kind of, part of the route is that you learn where to place the cursor so you can go right to where you need to go next. Like that. So now we get to go into another room that's kind of fun. We call it the wardrobe room. Has a nice little trick that we've been trying to work on getting a little bit better at. So we just... Now we do another trick here, and... There we go. By the first. You can see it right there, yep. So then let's see. And then what's gonna happen here is there's gonna be kind of a quick time event that I have to do, and I'm gonna try to do it the fastest way possible. It's kind of tricky, but
It really
Right.
helps that there's no position reset on the cursor.
Yeah, so basically you just gotta wiggle and mash the A button about as fast as possible, and if you do it fast enough, you can do it like that.
Nice.
So, and right
Do you?
there, oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
So at that point there, it was a little hard to see what I was doing, but sometimes if you're not careful, he'll hop there, and it's a little harder to get the shard. So you basically you would just like once the cutscene ends, you kind of want to have your cursor in just a certain way to where you can easily get your cursor on it and hit it so you won't hop, and that's kind of just what I did there. So that gives a shard number 7.
That dreaded hop.
Yeah, I've been trying to. There's little ways that you can kind of help reduce the chances of hops. One thing that helps me is that sometimes throughout the run, like especially like when he's running in between places, like you don't have to keep mashing A 100 times because if you're not careful, you can mess him up. But it's not 100% understood. So now basically we just do a big, basically we run back all the way we came, in a way.
I have a $20 donation here from 16-bit Ferret. Not the bees.
I love it. Thank you.
Hopefully those bees won't be coming back. Yes, thank you very much for that donation.
That's awesome. So basically, oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Basically, through this part, all you just have to do is just make sure he doesn't pop. And I do that just by mashing A at certain times and just making sure that he doesn't turn around. Because one thing that does help is that when you're in front of a door, you can actually mash right before he gets to the door, and it's a better chance that he'll immediately grab it.
That's good. Do you have to mash, or is like there no indicator of like the first frame you can do an input, or that he'll receive a command?
It's helpful to mash, especially if you want him to run, because it takes a couple of inputs for him to do it. Otherwise, like he'll walk kind of slow, and then once you do it again, he'll pick up speed. So we want to mash pretty much as soon as we can to get him to move across larger hallways, like this. So now we're gonna go over to this door. And we're just gonna go down this little staircase here. Now we get to play a mini game soon.
A whole like full-fledged mini game, or more than a quick time event?
A little bit. I'll just say that you actually get to control Mickey for once.
Ooh. Oh.
So what we're going to get into here is what we call the sword chase minigame. For purposes of this category, it's not really as important. All you basically just got to do is just not get hit. But there are stars you can collect that are useful in the later categories. So I just kind of like to what I do is that I just try to collect as many as I can, because in the later categories you have to. So.
Yeah, you need those tricks. Do I have is now a good time for donation?
Yep, go for it.
I have a $9.12 donation from Oasis that reads, "Let's even this out nice and good," bringing us to an even $500. 20% of our goal. Thank you so very much.
All right. So now we just go to this painting here.
Was there a particular reason, since somebody asked in chat, that you were using the Japanese language other than personal preference? Was it actually a little bit faster?
No, in the other category, in the 100% category, this is actually a little bit faster for that routing. For purposes of this category, it's just the category that I've gone my personal best on, so it's just the one I'm used to using. You can use it pretty much any of the versions, the American or Japanese version's fine.
Not a lot of dialogue.
There's no dialogue or really anything in this, and we have not been able to determine any real substantial time differences between versions, so if you want to run this game, you can run it on pretty much any version. So now we go through this cave here, and it's dark.
Oh, that's unsettling.
And that's why we have a flashlight. So basically through this, just get him to walk, set up the cursor in just the right little place in this little nudge bar right there, and now interesting fun fact about this cave, you can actually come through here without the flashlight, but for whatever reason you cannot collect this shard. It does not show up.
I hate it when that happens in games.
Yeah, so the game basically forces you to grab the flashlight. Otherwise, it'd be cool if we didn't have to grab it, but...
That would be pretty cool. Man, they really get a lot of mileage out of these voice effects.
So now pretty much from here is not very much less, so we're gonna be coming up on time fairly soon. We're just gonna set up here so we can set up for going through the rest of this cave. And basically through this part, I always just mash right through this so we can just get to the edge of the cave and walk right through. Alright, so we are gonna be coming up on time in just a second or so. So he's just go, once the camera pans out, there's a nice blue door for us here to go through. And
The blue door.
time. And there we go. That is Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse.
3524, it looks like.
Okay, 3524, not bad. That was, all things considered, with the hops and all that, I'm pretty happy with that.
That's pretty good.
I'm happy that we got to show off the good RNG. I like to call it the God RNG, honestly. That's my favorite phrase for it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and running this game for us today. Is there anybody that you'd like to shout out or recognize before we move on to the next game?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind. I got a couple people I wouldn't mind shouting out. I want to shout out my good buddy SSBB Hacks. He was one of the first people to help out this game out with me. And a good friend of ours also, his name is Cabasco. He's from California. He was our third runner to join us. But then I also want to shout out two of the original runners of this game. Deathline, who was a moderator on the leaderboard. He was the first person to ever run this game, and I just wanted to shout him out. Because if it wasn't for him running this game, none of this would have probably been ever possible. So... And then I want to shout out a good friend of mine that I met at GDQ. His name is Glitch, the Umbreon. He's a friend of ours that Axe and I know pretty well. And fun fact, I actually got to attend GDQ with Axe because of this game.
Oh, nice.
Yep, we met through this game. We got to go to GDQ together and show it off to people. And in our wildest dreams, we would have never thought that this game would have got shown off in a marathon. So I'm incredibly honored to have showed this game off. It has been a huge blast routing this game out, and to anyone that wants to run it, we have a Discord for this game. We have other categories to run. It's a very chill, casual game, and I would recommend it to anyone that just wants to add a little bit of a little bit of funness to games that they run. It's not too hard to pick this game up.
Awesome. All right then. Uh, hmm. Let's see here. All right.